Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Open the roll call, please.
Councillor Eater.
Here.
Councillor Astorga.
Here.
Councillor Donahue is absent. Councillor Ott.
Here.
Councillor Hooper.
Here.
Councillor Vasquez.
Here.
Councillor Powell.
Here.
And Mayor Wall.
Here. Okay. And item number 4 on our agenda is a letter of resignation from the Planning Commission from Diana Kirkham. I can't understand why somebody would rather travel and go to our Planning Commission meeting. Anyway, he has resigned. And do you have anybody signed up to speak? Bobby?
No,
No?
I do not. Nobody contact me.
Okay. Okay, we'll move to item 6, which is our accounts review of accounts payable. Let's go over the left. Any questions? Tony, do you have any?
Nope.
No?
I had one, I just need to go get to it real quick. And basically just what it was is I noticed that we got some more West Tech fees. And one of them was coded to SNS for $2,600, so I was just curious. Because it's under services and supplies, not engineering fees, so I was wondering what that was. It's the second, it's the
Sludge Lagoon.
the Sludge Lagoon, so there's one for engineering fees and one for SNS, so I just had a curious on that.
What page on, Joe?
15, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd have to go back and look at the way Alan colored it.
Appreciate.
I'll get the report on my desk.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll pop my head. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Right? Molly?
No.
That's it. Okay. I have no questions. So we have, on consent agenda, we have 2 items because we had 2 meetings. So we need to approve the minutes of February 6th and February 23rd. Anyone have any comments or corrections? No. I'm going to put a motion on the consent agenda.
I will move that we approve the consent agenda.
It's been moved by Council President Eater and seconded by Councilor Hofer to approve the consent agenda. Roll call, please.
Councillor Powell.
Aye.
Councillor Vasquez.
Aye.
Councillor Eater.
Aye.
Councillor Hooper.
Aye.
Councillor Astorga.
Aye.
Councillor Donahue is absent. Councillor Ott.
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay. Moving right along, we'll go to unfinished business, and the first item is for discussion was the SDC rate structure. We had a little bit of a discussion about that at the last meeting. So do you want to, Mark, do you want to say anything about that at all, or?
I will defer to Tara.
Yeah, so I went back to our attorneys after our discussion.
Okay.
And it is, our rate structure is set up in our methodology, not just change the rate structure without redoing our methodology. In order to redo our methodology, there's a 90-day notice period for all those who are some requests to be notified of rate changes. But the bigger picture is that in order to change our methodology, we need to hire a consultant who will likely then ask us to give them all our master plans, which are really outdated. And so we may even have to go back and get those redone. So the discussion needs to come back to, do we want to start and get a consultant, look at our methodology and start redoing some of our master plans?
What would that entail or cost? Would you guess?
I don't remember what it cost. I would say $20,000 to $30,000. I think at least that to do all of that, the master plans, the methodology.
Well, I'm the one who brought it up in the first place. So based on what I proposed last time, I have a couple of questions. Number one is I did get a notification from a local resident who is one of those who's supposed to be notified when we increase or change the rate structure. And so talking about the 90-day notice, Mark, did you get a letter from the HBA?
Yeah, from I got from the Marion County Home Builders Association. Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, so one question we'll have to loop back to is because our rate increases were already in our structure, does that negate the notification period?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. The other thing too is I do think that obviously we are going to need to start updating some of these plans, looking at transportation and stormwater. And we've already talked about transportation, it's 20 years old. But with what I proposed last time, it was an extra $1,500 or $1,700 a house. And it's gonna cost us $30,000. We gotta build over 15 houses to ever make that up. So maybe it's not something we tackle right now. And maybe we start doing it more methodically and start with a couple of these oldest, it's three of the oldest ones first. And start chipping away at it. And maybe this is something that when next year's rate increase comes around, maybe just before then we can talk about if it's worth updating the methodology at that point. When that way we can take it in smaller bites. That's my opinion now, knowing what's going into it. So,
I still think we'll have to hire a consultant to help with the master plans.
understood.
Okay,
But as opposed to taking all of these on and paying the money for the methodology right now, maybe we prioritize.
Another thing that is not totally related to the cost, but our legislature is in session right now. And one of my jobs that I've assumed is monitoring what happens at the legislature every week. And there's a conference call. That's not convenient, but I go back and look at the conference call and it's an hour, but there's several bills that are up right now that relate to housing. As you know, that's our hot button issue right now. And some of them are proposing changes to the SDC rules. So even if we wanted to spend that money, this would not be a good time to do that. If they, when they, it's not if, it's when they change it. So anyway, so I would it's something we can keep in our heads, but probably not something we want to jump into right now. Anybody else have any comments about? And we did, I think we did a good thing before when we tied the SDCs to the cost of living, because we are keeping it as current as we can. So anyway, anybody else have any comments? No? Yes? No? Okay. So we'll set that aside for now. The next item is city council rules. And it's listed as an action item. And we've had discussions on this a couple of times already, and I think we're very well, we've reviewed it a lot, so.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I may, the previous couple of revisions were related to. It's fine. Had to do with voting, and had to do with excluding or removing people and making arrests. So those two things were taken care of. Also saw those ones before. The one thing that was left to the mayor and I was to take care of the executive session. And instead of having that at the very beginning of the meeting, I was decided to move that. So I discussed it with the mayor, and I threw it down kind of underneath new business with an executive session, and then parenthetically, as needed, may be placed on the agenda as outlined below, and B, agenda items at any time during a council meeting, which gives council flexibility. Put it at the beginning or at the end, or whatever council would like to have an executive session. The rest of it seems to be quite sufficient.
Well, that does give us flexibility and save us from having people leave when they really don't need to, so. I like that change.
So staff recommends approval of resolution number 1568, adopting the city council rules 2023-2024 as presented in exhibit A.
Okay. Anyone have any questions of the city manager? Comments on the rules? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution number 1568, repealing resolution 1482. And adopting rules governing proceedings and conduct of the city council.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilor Storda, seconded by Councilor Ott to approve resolution 1568. Roll call, please.
Counselor Ott.
Aye.
Counselor Fowler. Counselor Vasquez.
Aye.
Counselor Eager.
I,
Counselor Hoover.
Aye.
Counselor Astorga.
Aye.
Counselor Donahue is absent. Mayor Walt.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And now we go to new business, and the first item is the change to the library endowment fund resolution. So.
Jackie, would you like to carry it on?
I'm actually gonna defer to Tara, because it was her discovery.
Yeah,
Okay.
so when, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was working on the budget and I realized I went to go find this and realized when I went to go to our resolutions, we didn't actually change anything with the resolutions when we passed the new language. We just said, yes, let's change it. And then we didn't make it official by appealing the repealing the last resolution and then adopting this language officially. So I'm just crossing our T's and dotting our I's and getting this language in the resolution. So when people come up after us, they find it.
Okay. So. That. Anyone have any questions? Seeing none. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution 1566, amending the library endowment.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilor Hofer and seconded by Councilor Astorga. To approve resolution 1566.
Counselor Donahue is absent. Counselor Ott.
Aye.
Counselor Powell.
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez.
Aye.
Counselor Eater.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Astorga.
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. The next item is we have a application for a appointment to the Budget Committee. And Maricela Ortiz. And don't have any questions or comments? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I move to appoint Maricela Ortiz Contreras to fill a vacancy on the Budget Committee.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilor Eater and seconded by Councilor Hofer to appoint Maricela Ortiz to the Budget Committee. Roll call, please.
Counselor Astorga.
Aye.
Counselor Donahue is absent. Counselor Ott.
Aye.
Counselor Powell.
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez. Counselor Eater.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
And Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay, the next,
So there's one vacancy left?
No, there's a situation with planning commission. So during the pandemic, those two were overlooked. There was two that were overlooked. One was Diana Kirkham, one was Greg Savage. They both need to come up to speed now. Diana Kirkham, obviously, we sent her resignation letter, so that the Commissioner Savage. Now, the other three, they're also out of date on their terms. But I'm gonna have to figure out what we need to do to get them back. They are just expired in 2022. So we need to have that staggered number for quorum's sake. And we could possibly extend their term. Or I'm gonna have to find another way to make it back to a quorum. But I have to go through some things too, bylaws and whatnot, and figure out what we need.
So you're saying if you extended them, you would have to extend them for half the term to create the stagger again?
I would like to do that because they could reapply in June, right? And then the three of them could come back in June and then they would be staggered.
Well, the Budget Committee is filled?
No,
No.
no, there's one vacancy. So got one left.
Did we get emailed who is on the Budget Committee? The names?
Yeah, every time I
I think
send
try
out,
to find one more to fill it before.
yeah, every time I send out a budget committee email, you guys are all on.
Okay.
But I'll send an email with all the names.
okay. So okay, now moving on to the one application for planning commissioner, we have an application from Greg Savage for reappointment. And this term would last until 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to reappoint Greg Savage to the planning commission for a 2-year term expiring on June 30th, 2025.
Moved by Councilor Story, seconded by Councilor Fowl to reappoint Greg Savage to the planning commission.
Counselor Hooper. Aye. Counselor Astorga.
Aye.
Counselor Donahue is absent. Counselor Ott.
Aye.
Counselor Powell.
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez.
Aye.
Counselor Eater.
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay, Our next item is the wage scale for non-represented employees. And that is with resolution number 1567. There. I'll pass that on to staff now.
Yeah, Tara and I think are ready to tag team this. Did you want to lead? Okay, she'll fill in the gaps.
Okay,
Please forgive me if I'm actually reading this, but this will definitely keep me on track. So this is for all of our non-represented folks. So these are people that are not represented by UNA or by the police department contract. So this is your city hall folks, as well as your leadership team. Okay, so in background, in July 2022, resolution 1554 was passed, giving non-represented employees a cost of living adjustment, COLA, of 3%. And that was prior to negotiations being ratified on the union side. Historically, wage scale adjustments for non-represented employees have emulated adjustments in both its employee unions. However, this resolution passed to avoid delayed wages in the form of retro pay. Now that both contracts have been ratified, it's important to give all of our employees an equitable COLA and market adjustment. Per the city charter, the city council sets wages, wage scales in Mount Angel. City council regularly approves wage and scale adjustments, such as COLAs or market adjustments. City council also sets wages for new job descriptions and positions. COLAs are not merit-based, and they are not connected to performance in any way. The COLA should be viewed as an adjustment solely to reflect such things as the cost of food, gas, rent, and other daily costs. Please note, there are several staff positions that are not active positions that appear on our wage scale list. The city manager, me, has written a couple of job descriptions and has planned to reclassify one position, as has been discussed and urged by council in the past. The first of those positions, and I don't mean to make anybody uncomfortable, but he's going to remain seated in the room. The first position is to add the wage scale entitled the Administrative Services Director. This position titles and captures what the current assistant to the city manager does on a daily basis. And in order to retain the incumbent, the city manager, me, believes that it is time to recognize him for the work that he does in Mount Angel and to fairly compensate him for his work. Salary savings from the combining of the city manager and chief of police position will definitely pay for the difference in the incumbent's current to new salary and benefits. And I just will add, and I don't have it written here, that this position as the Administrative Services Director is almost a carbon copy of a position that's currently offered by the COG. They did reach out and attempt to recruit him and have him go to work for the COG, but he chose to remain here. So, and the salary is comparable, not quite as much for the COG. If you would have gone to the COG, you might have made another couple $100 a month, but by staying here at Mount Angel, we definitely get the benefit, and I think Colby enjoys coming here rather than driving into Salem. So that's why I'm hoping that we're able to move ahead with that portion. One other thing that I have done is, and of course, this is along with my plan to attempt to keep people employed here rather than allowing them to run off and get jobs elsewhere. So keeping folks here, create some succession planning. I basically came up with the position of deputy chief in the police department. The position that I've been talking about for the last year and a half or so. I intend to fill the position by moving Sergeant Hall from his position as a sergeant and giving him the rank of deputy chief. at some point after he graduates from the FBI Academy. He'll be given the title and pay increase commensurate with the duties of deputy chief. And quite honestly, this is to prepare him to get ready to take the position at some point in the future, when I'm no longer going to be here as your city manager and or your chief of police, but to really get somebody ready to be able to take those reins. And to give him some further experience, but honestly, everything that Charlie will be experiencing goes right down. Right down the line. So as Charlie begins to experience more and do more, so do the officers. So it's a way really for us to add value to our employees, but then also to retain those that have so much knowledge already. So it is a part of my retention and succession plan for the police department. This position is a simple 5% above the current sergeant salary. Sergeant position will become vacant when I choose to move him to deputy chief, and remain so until filling the position is in the best interest of the police department and the city. And once again, salary savings from the combining of the city manager and the chief of police position will pay for the increase in pay and benefits. And moving him to a deputy chief position. And it is a title more than it is really paying. He's still going to be on the street, still going to be taking calls, still going to be doing a lot of the things that he was doing before, but he will be recognized as a deputy chief as opposed to a sergeant. And one of the things that we had to basically overcome when he was selected to go to the FBI Academy, I had to request a waiver because of his rank. They generally only take lieutenants and above to go to the FBI Academy, but he truly is the second in command here. And when in my absence, he is going to be and has been in command of the police department during my absence. So it is our recommendation as staff to approve resolution 1567, which provides that all non-represented employees of the city shall receive a 1% COLA and a 1.5% wage adjustment, in addition to the 3% COLA adopted in July 2022 for the fiscal year 22-23.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kara, do you have anything to add? Or Katie?
No, see if we have any questions.
So, yeah, anyone have any questions?
I just want to make sure I understand, so that later, I guess my expectation is, you know, we have the savings from you having two positions. And so as we promote and spend more of those savings, this is going to equate to more than 50% of Mark's time as city manager. So as Charlie's deputy chief, that means less time in the police department, more time as city manager.
It's hard for me to quantify that, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't need a number of hours. I just want to make sure that, you know, as we spend our savings, it's because we are taking things off of your plate and getting more of a city manager out of it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I hope to accomplish.
Okay.
But over time, I'm not willing to give up being the chief.
No, I understand, but you understand where at some point, if we're spending everything for a police chief and a city manager,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that as we're spending more of those savings, we're taking things off of your plate so that we're getting more to 100% of a city manager for.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Where our sergeant position is going to remain vacant. So you've got the sergeant now, and so he's going to be basically getting a 5% bump.
Okay.
So that's pretty minimal, honestly. If you look at the difference between police chief and deputy chief, that's a pretty significant jump. So that would take a lot more. So it's not a lot, but it's something, because he's truly going to be an exempt employee, you know, more overtime, more stuff. So it is there's, I guess, some cost savings on even with that. More comp time, you know, he's going to be truly an exempt director, you know, an exempt position. He's not a true director, but he's a true exempt employee. If that makes sense.
Anybody else? Any other questions? I don't hear any questions, so I'm going to entertain a motion.
That's just what it sounds like.
I was gonna say, is it just raining or is the speakers clicking?
No, it sounds like,
I
yeah.
was doing my best to ignore it.
Let's get that open, but I'm coming in.
I move to approve resolution 1567, adjusting the wage scales of non-represented employees of the city of Mount Angel effective July 1, 2022.
A second.
It's been moved by Councilor Fowl and seconded by Councilor Ott to approve resolution 1567. Roll call, please.
Councilor Lee,
Aye.
Councilor Hooper. Aye. Councilor Astorga.
Aye.
Councilor Donahue is absent. Councilor Ott.
Aye.
Councilor Powell.
Aye.
Councilor Vasquez. Aye. Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay. Next item, we have an addition. We have item 9E, which is the wage scale of Liuna employee. That's resolution 1569.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I can go back, I just want to recognize the fact that I haven't officially offered him a position, but I just want to say, acknowledge the fact that we are going to have a new department director, and so our new administrative services director is going to be holding. So I just want to recognize.
Really,
We had to sit here while everybody voted for that.
I wasn't stressed out about it.
I almost voted no.
All right, Mr. Mayor, sorry.
oh, no, thank you. Okay, now we're going back to Liuna.
Don't remember this one?
Sure.
Right.
So in the same light as the last resolution, we want to make the same effort to bring Liuna up to that same adjustment that we made for everybody else. The difference between Liuna and MAPA is only 5% under the market adjustment. So they already got the same COLA. Their market adjustment was 1%. We want to increase that to 1.5% to make everybody equitable. So the wages were bumped up by 5%. 0.5%. Yeah, sorry, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Jesus, like I'm right.
0.5%.
Yeah. Is there any other questions?
Do you have any questions on this item?
Well, we have to revise our. Obviously, we'll have to revise our budget. It's gonna be minimal, right?
It's gonna be very minimal. And like as with all things, if we get to the end, there's money that needs to be adjusted. We'll bring a supplemental budget before the council and we'll take any funds out of contingency.
Okay.
All right, I move to authorize city manager Mark Daniel to sign the MOU and approve resolution 1569, adjusting the wage scales of Liuna employees of the city of Mount Angel effective July 1, 2022.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilor Fowl, seconded by Councilor Storga to approve resolution 1569. Roll call, please.
Councilor Eager,
Aye.
Councilor Astorga,
Aye.
Councilor Donahue is absent. Councilor Ott,
Aye.
Councilor Hooper.
Aye.
Councilor Vasquez,
Aye.
Councilor Powell,
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. I have a silly question. What happened to resolution 1568?
Oh, 1568 was the one that was walked. Let's see, when it was walked.
No, it was the council rules. We did that one first.
That was-
Oh, I got you. Okay.
It's just not listed on the agenda.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Okay, moving right along. We are done with our business, so we have city managers report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, we've been busy doing all kinds of stuff. But the top three things that I just want to bring to your attention tonight are your city staff is currently in the process of developing a request for proposal for the purpose of contracting a city engineer and engineering firm. So we have worked through our attorneys and we sat down and went through all of the documents recently, just last week. And I think Tara's going to be reaching back out to our attorneys for another, I think, annual review.
I'm still waiting for some people to give me information.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I wasn't assigned that.
No.
Some of us have some homework to give to Tara so that she can reach back out to the attorneys. But once we have that complete, we should have a pretty much ready to go RFP to go out for engineering services. So we're working diligently on getting that done. I suppose one of the biggest things for me was that we have reached an agreement on the easements for the West Markham Sanitary Sewer Trunk Line project. They are signed, sealed, and recorded. And I've been in communication with our city engineer. They are currently finalizing the drawings and the plans. So this project should be able to go to bid. We actually, I'm anticipating sometime within the next few weeks. So we'll be going to bid and moving ahead with the project. We had a nice meeting in my office at the City Hall and got it done. Happy to report. And then it was kind of an interesting Friday this last week. Late Friday afternoon, a number of us were standing around in City Hall and the bookkeeper from the senior center popped in and let me know that the furnace was not working over the senior center. And so I thought that was interesting. And I said, well, you know, we still don't have an agreement with the senior center. And they were telling me that they were without heat for a couple of days. I said, well, you should be calling somebody to figure out the heat. And so I told them, I said, you know, we still don't have an agreement. We still don't have a lease. I've offered. My direction to the bookkeeper, who really didn't want to get into a big conversation, she was just transporting some information, was take this information back, tell them to call somebody, but then to let us know what was going to happen with the furnace there. I've not heard anything, didn't receive any emails or phone messages or anything like that. So I still don't know what's happened. Tomorrow I'll probably wander over and see what's going on, and then I'll attempt to get a meeting with their board, and we'll start talking in earnest about an agreement. But we still don't have any type of a lease or rental agreement which outlines anything. So I just would like to bring you up to speed. That's all I have to say.
That's refreshing. Okay, thank you. Councilor committee reports. We'll start this way.
I have nothing.
Nothing,
I have nothing.
nothing,
I have nothing.
nothing. Oh,
I got three things.
three things.
One, I don't know if it's possible, but for the RFP for the engineering services goes back to the attorney, can it come across my desk? Please.
Yeah, well, you call in and we'll talk about it.
Okay, or you know, you can email it to me or either or. So I just would like an opportunity to look at it, just considering I do multiple of those every year.
Sure.
Second thing on Mark's list is when we do get ready to go out to bid for the sanitary job. If you would let me know what's going out and what the ITB number is. Obviously, I would be willing to make a handful of phone calls to notify potential bidders to try to stir up enough people interested in the job.
Mhm.
And then the last one is, correct me if I'm wrong, Shelley, the city owns where the daycare, where the preschool is, right? And we own that basketball court, right? Is that correct?
Yes, that is city.
Okay,
City property.
it is city property, okay. All right, at some point I'd like to investigate backboards and hoops for that basketball court.
Okay,
Like replacement backboards and hoops or,
Yeah. Because the posts are there, and the hoops are there, but the backboards are deteriorating plywood. And that basketball court gets a lot of use.
The nets just got replaced again.
Last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'd have to find funding and stuff, but it'd be nice to put up,
but a new board.
yeah, put up some new park or playground quality boards.
I'll engage Public Works with that.
Along those lines, do we still have a Parks Committee? Is there one that's active? I don't think I've ever heard or
didn't
seen
we?
minutes from the other meeting.
They got delegated to the planning commission, did
That was, yeah.
That's not right.
The tree park / tree board.
Yeah, it did get delegated back to the planning commission. That is correct.
I might have to apply for the planning commission.
Wait a minute.
Commission and the council.
Pardon?
We ought to be on the council and the planning commission.
So, I don't know.
That's all I have.
I wasn't. I said I wasn't allowed to get a poll. No, I was just, it was a poorly timed joke. Another thing I had to be citizen ask, there, where we're at with the Fisher Park project, the basketball court and the pickleball stuff. If we can fit that into the project scope at Fisher and then possibly putting in a pickleball court outline at the concrete pad at Humbert.
I don't know how,
Apparently, it's like the rage these days.
I don't know how we're gonna put a net across a basketball court. though.
Well, it's also turned into the biggest complaint cities are getting now because of the noise of pickleball. Like Oswego being there.
Yeah, and it just because my husband plays on that court tennis, you'd really need to get it resurfaced. It's not safe.
No, I'm saying the one down at Fisher.
Oh, at Fisher, there's a court at Fisher?
There's a basketball.
There's a basketball.
We're gonna be putting a full-size basketball
Right.
out there, so,
But I was talking about pickleball.
yeah. good.
Oh,
They wanted to put the pickleball court lines on top of.
oh,
that.
I see, okay.
But no net,
But no, I don't know how we can do, maybe put some
I don't know how you do it.
removable. A post that folks can bring their own nets, I guess, or something and. Set them up. I don't know how that works, but. I just figure we supply the lines, they supply the net.
I don't know, we'll have to. I'll have to sit down with Alan.
Yeah.
Alan gets back in his conference. Yeah, talk about it. Right, put some ideas together.
Okay. I mean, I'm asking, just people keep asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I'll keep bringing it up.
Yeah, it is a popular thing, and certain, human interest reporters are certainly still doing a lot of stories on pickleball and, Corlin from Channel 6 is, doing the pickleball thing and, but remember Portland is a much bigger place with lots more money than Angel does. So, yeah, I appreciate all that the media does, but want to make sure that our public works director, and especially since we're coming into budget season, that we are pretty well dialed in there. But I appreciate your question.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Oh,
Good.
you're good? Yeah, I got a couple of things on our mayor's report. The latest issue of Local Focus magazine, which is a magazine that League does quarterly, has subject this month or this week, or this quarter, I guess, has 13 essentials for elected officials, and I would advise you all to take a look at that, because And it came out Friday, I believe, but I read through it today and I learned quite a few things, so it's pretty well done. And then I mentioned earlier, I've been monitoring the legislative meetings. I found out that I don't ever want to be a lobbyist when I grow up. Anyway, and then finally, I sent you all a evaluation form for the city manager today. And we know it went out because we sent one of them to the wrong email address, but they got it anyway. So I guess we haven't corrected, I haven't corrected your address on my thing. So, and there's instructions and so we're a little bit late with that, but Mike isn't worried. And at least he told me he wasn't worried. But we need to get that done. And that's all I have. Anything else for the good of the order? We are adjourned.